good afternoon, everyone. All right. Okay. Today is Monday, and let's start our section for today. Okay, our weekly market outlook section. This is Elki from M Plus Online, and I'm glad to here today with you guys. Okay. All right. Okay. So, let's look at our market today. Okay, you can see for our market today this morning for this afternoon sections. On today we are managed to close afternoon section with 2.81 points higher at 1385. Okay, but despite that, we are seeing a little bit positive on the our blue chips index. But if we look into our gainers and also decliners, we can see the sentiment is still yet to go into very strong positive modes. Okay, at this point, we are still seeing that our there are 456 decliners compared to 251 gainers at this point. Okay, so this is pretty much considered as normal because we are seeing that market is looking on is also awaiting for the elections result. Okay, everyone is waiting for the elections, and at this point there are more people who would prefer to go into wait and see approach rather than aggressively commit into a position. Even the are buyers, all this, they will be more towards short-term trading. And of course, for those who will be more interested to buy, they will be wanting to wait at a cheaper price for them to get in some position before the election. Okay, and as for institutional and foreign funds wise, usually for fund managers practice, their interest will be lowered at this point of time where there are so much uncertainties and also geopolitical issue happening in that country. Hence, the position is likely to be reduced. That's why when we are seeing last week when the announce of the dissolution of the parliament, they are more selling, and the selling actually has been prolonged until today. Okay, so for moving forwards, we would see the bear should be in control. Okay, more selling coming in. Even with the rebound, it might unable to sustain for long. Okay, the rebound should be weak. So in this kind of condition, this kind of situation, what we can do is for those stocks that price high, okay, at a higher price, we might want to let go and buy at a lower price. Okay, and for those who which oversold, we can consider to trade them. Okay, but when it rebounds, we might really want to take some short-term profits rather than aggressively and also believing that it's gonna make a very strong rally at this point. Yeah. Okay. So if we want to see some of the counters that might make a very strong move at this time recently, these 2 days, microlin is one of it that actually make a very strong move. If we look into microlin charts, okay, you can see microlin actually has spiked up from 63 to all the way to 69 cents. Today highest is 72. Okay, yeah, we can see it's a very strong move right over here. And usually at this moment, for those counter that's still able to make such a great move, we will see that their uh their share issue shouldn't be more than 2 billion. Okay, it should be lesser. And also the stock's likely to be trading in a sideways for quite some time. Okay, so if we see Microlin SG has been trading sideways since early of 2021. Okay, so in this kind of situation, if you want to trade, you might look into all these counters that has been sideways and quiet for a long time and trading interest coming in at this point. Yes, you can trade, but do bear in mind that you want to do a short-term trading rather than aggressively go and trade it. Okay. Yep, let me refresh my chart a little bit. Okay. Yes. All right. So if we look into some of the top gainers, okay, some of the top gainers we can see today is the IPO listing of Sunview, which is dealing with the solar business. Okay, usually in when there is a new IPO listing like Sunview in solar business, we should see that the all the solar related counters it should move in line strongly. Okay, but if we look at counter like Samaidans, okay, Samaidans, okay, if you look into Samaidan like for today, we are not seeing Samaidan making any strong move. Okay, Solar Vax wise is also in red. Uh, the cards is in red. Okay, Saipak is in red. Okay, so we can see that the speculative movement, um, the speculative urge is not really that strong at this point because when there is a strong strong movement in that particular sector, like for today, for example, is Sunview, it should kind of like give some positive towards the other counters across the sector, but we are not seeing today. So from here, we can actually gauge that the sentiment for the market has been really weak. Uh, yep, and especially we do know that before the budget that announced earlier, okay, um, everyone, most of the investor research analysts, they have been eyeing that the budget would allocate some good money or some good budgets allocation for the renewable energy, solar, all this, but we are not seeing that. Okay, so that's why the selling has been coming in, the reversal of the price trend in accordance with the uh, fall in the expectation that dragged the whole solar sector down. So for those who are wondering if today, due to the good the very strong IPO performance from Sunview, if we want to trade into all these solar related counters, I would say that the it doesn't look likely lah, that we should go into all this. Okay, but if we look into what's happening right now, um, I will say that we might want to remain focused on consumer sector. Okay, consumer sector, like last week, like recent, like today, the movement will be on the power roads. Okay, power road have moved very strongly today. Okay, it's up it's up 4 cents and it went as high as 2 ringgit 19 cents in the morning. Okay, so that gave us a 7 cents up from 2 ringgit 12 from previous close. Okay, and that's a 12 cents if we go in and buy at a lower price at 2 ringgit 07. Okay, so if we look into the power charts, okay, if you look into power charts, let me remove some of the lines. Okay, we can see Power Road is still going on an uptrend, a good one, and good uptrend. And early October, it went as low as 1 ringgit 82 cents. Okay, so I believe that was the 2 weeks ago when I was sharing with you guys that I was still very much focused on consumer counters, like Kawan, like Power Road, like BJ Food, all this, because this year in much heightened volatility year, consumer stocks, consumer sector will be one that people go into it because it is a defensive sector, the consumer staples. Okay, so we are seeing Power making the breakout for today, and from here we might see it retest the resistance at 2 ringgit 24 cents or even higher at 2 ringgit 36 cents. Okay, so this area will be a very strong resistance for Power. So the movement over here from right now to 2 ringgit 24 to 2 ringgit 40 cents area, it should be a little bit it shouldn't be one way up, but it could be up down like that. Okay, yeah. and I wouldn't be aiming too much for 2 ringgit 74 cents because this move right over here, it is more towards like overextended. Okay, overextended, force break, and come all the way back down. So for those who are trading forwards, 2 ringgit 38 cents to 2 ringgit 40 cents level, it will be one of the strong resistance that you might want to monitor at it. Okay. Uh, Besides that, we do talk about Kawan Food as well last on the third, 3rd of October around here. Okay, when Kawan Food was under pressure, the market was selling down. You can see Friday was a very strong breakout of Kawan Food at 2 ringgit 30 cents area. Okay, 2 ringgit 30 cents, and today is still trading at 2 ringgit 33 cents. This is a continuation of an uptrend. Okay, and we do not see any much resistance until 2 ringgit 63 cents to 2 ringgit 80 cents. These are the two levels that we want to look out for Kawan Foods. Okay, for those who are trading on uh, consumer stocks and also these few stocks that I mentioned. Okay, yeah. So another one will be BJ Food. Okay, so BJ Food with BJ Food after the bonus issue, the price actually has become more affordable, I would say. Okay, at 90 cents. Okay, and we are also seeing BJ Food is going on an uptrend, and after a strong pullback in happening in June to July, we are seeing the price is recovering. Okay, no doubt 90 cents to 1 ringgit level is one of the strong resistance for BJ Food. Yeah, but given that we are seeing that the government is pushing for tourism and also the more border reopening, all this, okay, it should benefit all these counters like BJ Food, like Capital A, like uh, airport, tourism related counters. Yeah, okay. So for BJ Food wise, as long the consumer sectors intact, the tourism continue to improve. We are seeing more traffic in the airports. Okay, so we should see BJ Food continue to perform positively towards 97 cents to 1 ringgit resistance level, the natural resistance. Other than that, we do want to notice that it is coming to the fourth quarter of the year. Okay, fourth quarter of the year, and very soon we're gonna have Chinese New Year or Chinese New Year coming in. Okay, yeah, it's really fast. Okay, next year Chinese New Year is end of January, and we are actually just 3 months apart from it. Okay, so Padini is one of the counters that we might want to look into when it comes near to the year-end sales and also Chinese ahead of the Chinese New Year. All right. So at this moment, if we look at Padini, it is just trading sideways, going nowhere. Okay, with the support at 3 ringgit 05, 2 ringgit 94 to 3 ringgit 05. Okay, so for Padini wise, we are not seeing strong movement right now. So it's if for those who are interested into this counter, you can look into buy on bargain hunting at this area. So I was still back into the view that consumers among all the sector or right over here, consumer will be one that I will be more convinced to look into. Okay, besides of convinced to look into, and finance services like banking, all this, they are benefiting from the higher interest rate that is imposing the high OPR. They are getting a better margin, but we have to be really careful because we are seeing the business and the economic growth is slowing down. So we have to really be mindful if there is any increase of the non-productive performing loans in any particular banks. Okay, we have to be really selective. Okay, so if you want to know more which are the banks that we prefer, okay, do feel free to check with us, check with our dealing team, and we gonna share. We will able to share with you more with our dealers. Okay, and I do believe that many of you guys today would want to know, recently, since last week, we started to see some movement in glove stocks. Okay, and today we can see that healthcare is the one that actually supported the move. Okay, banking and also healthcare is the two that are supporting the index. Okay, supporting our market. So if we look into some of the glove counters, okay, let's start with Top Glove. Okay, let's start with Top Glove. So what are we seeing in Top Glove is we started to see Top Glove in a smaller swing. Okay, in a smaller swing, what we are seeing in Top Glove is making is it is really making a higher low and higher high. Okay, right over here, which is on Thursday itself, it was a breakout of the previous high at 705 cents, and today continue to pressure higher to 73 half. Okay, so this is a very encouraging signal whereby we a very good chance we might see Top Glove to retest the resistance around 82 cents area. Okay, 82 cents area, and this will form a huge reversal signal in the monthly chart. All right, but if you ask me, hey, okay, then should I be just hunt them and go in, or should I just average down if I have been holding Top Glove shares since long ago? Okay, so I would say that this reversal happening right over here, yes, the interest could come in because of the arising uncertainties and volatilities amidst the election. Okay, and also a lot of also the negative news has been all out, and expectation has already priced in on lower demand and also high supply for all these glove stocks. Yep. So, but when would we see a very strong rally for all these glove companies? Personally, I would think that it might not happen anytime soon yet. Okay, but the current rebound is more towards like a technical rebound after being strongly oversold. Okay, so if we look into RSI, okay, we can see at this point over here. Okay, at this point when it was selling below 60 cents, we can see the RSI has been really oversold. And if we look into bigger range, okay, in the monthly charts, is this hitting the oversold signal and start recovering? Okay, so it's more towards like oversold in all these glove companies, and hence it is rebounding at this point. Okay, so for the fundamentally, from the fundamental side, why is the rebound, the rebound in the business? It might not happening anytime soon. Especially, we for the last month, we are seeing Magma has been mentioning that the oversupply situation, it might only dissolve in 3 to 6 months time. Okay, so for the next coming quarters, or even next quarter, all these glove companies, they might still not posting a very strong result. Okay, so for those who are trading all these glove companies at this point, I would think that you guys might want to continue to see it and take it as a short-term trading opportunity purposes. Okay, and do you ask me whether can buy or not? Yes, it is forming into an uptrend. It's the breakout above 705. There is still space for us to trade to 82, 83 cents, or even if the buying is strong, it might retest the 1 ringgit area. So we are seeing that is a very good um, 8 to 20 cents kind of profit margin over there for us to trade. Okay, and 8 cents is about 10% based on current price 73 and a half. So there are space for us to do some short-term trading and also make profits from there. Okay, but if you're asking, should you go all in and just buy it? I would say that you might want to think twice. Okay, yeah, you might want to think twice, but it's good to initiate some small position if you are holding for long term right over here, because it is the trend is changing, turning into an uptrend with the stop loss below the low of the recent pullback, which is at 61 cents. Yeah. Okay, so very similarly, like on other other stocks like Hatalega, we also seeing it is breaking into a higher high, okay, higher low and higher high happening, and crossing above the 20 days moving average. Supermax, yes, Supermax is stronger to 87 cents right now. It's hitting near to the resistance. It broke the resistance of 85 and a half cents, and the next one will be 90 cents. And okay, another one will be Kosan. Kosan will be at 1 ringgit 30 cents at 1 ringgit 42 cents. Okay, and of course, for the second liner one, like K plus is also very strong towards the resistance at 42 and a half cents, and also Rubberites. Okay, Rubberites, they not sure if they use the new name Hexcare. Okay, Rubberex has changed name to Hexcare, which is 52 and a half cents to 55 cents. Okay. Uh okay. But one thing but one thing that we do want to be careful is okay. We do notice that HLT, which is doing the selling the is glove related, they are also rebounding, but I would say that we might want to trade on glove rather than uh, focus on the related stocks like HLT Global, because even the glove 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 sales has improved, we shouldn't be seeing that they're gonna straight away go into expansion modes and hence increasing their glove dipping line orders. So for related counters like HLT Global, I would say that we might want to avoid it rather than strongly trading into it because it's penny. The changes is the percentage of gain is high, because from 17 half cents towards today to 22 and a half cents, that's a 5 cents increase, which is more than 30% already profits. Okay, but the um, com- um, comparatively the risk also higher. Okay, yeah, so I would advise that if you want to trade, you can focus at the top four or even K plus rubber hex K, all this for a higher risk speculative trading. Okay, yep. All right. So besides of glove counter, if we look at for healthcare wise, we can see that IHH healthcare is also making a very strong reversal happening right over here. So for those who want to go into defensive sector, to preserve your funds, okay, um, IHH is one that you can also consider to go into with the immediate support at 5 ringgit 72 cents and resistance at 6 ringgit area for IHH healthcare. Okay. Yep. So if we look into other sector right over here, okay, we can see that for this week's, it's really we are expecting that the market will be continue to stay weak, and also the interest could be go into more towards uh, consumer staples, healthcare, and even utilities for defensive play. So the one that we miss out is we haven't talked about utilities. So if we look into Tenaga, you can see Tenaga is hitting near the 8 ringgit level. Okay, 8 ringgit level, which is I believe it was the low since 2013. Okay, 2013. Okay, and previously in July we can see Tenaga has formed a very strong support at 7 ringgit 90 cents and the rebound. Hence, I would say that this at this point is a good support area for Tenaga, okay, whereby we might see some buying interest coming in and rebound. But do bear in mind that for Tenaga wise, we have to closely monitor the coal price, which is gonna affect their profitability, okay. Uh, yep. So that's one thing that we have to be monitoring as well. Okay, so my advice for you guys is for this week until the elections, we might really want to be careful, okay, and also be selective in trading. If you're trading non-defensive stocks, okay, you might want to trade short term and also understand and also see whether the previous move is there any strong rally before the recent move, okay. If it has been going on sideways for a long time and the buying start coming at this point, you have to know that this could be a temporarily a short-term move. And yes, you can trade along with the momentum of it, but you do want to trade it with a smaller size and also take a faster profits, okay. Yeah, because at this point the chances of a strong rally coming in and sustainable rally, the chances will be less likely, okay, given all these uncertainties happening, okay. But if you are switching your fund from growth stocks to all this some of these defensive stocks, um, yes, you might want to go in. Some of you guys might say, hey, it has already started to rally last week and today the price is slightly higher. I would say that the switching, it might not just be a week or two. It might go in and hold for a while, given that we are not only suffering from the local geopolitical issue, the elections, all this, but we also are seeing there are arising volatilities and also uncertainties from the global, especially we are seeing again the escalating tensions between the Ukraine and also Russia. Okay, so we also do want to be prepared if that is the Ukraine port is being shut down, and that would create some volatility in the commodities and also the raw material prices. Okay, and by that time we might see some movement on the plantation. Okay, but at this point, plantation is still dampened due to a higher stocks number. Okay, yeah. So other than that, I would say that the rest would be more towards continue to stay on the sideline modes. Okay, as except for technology, which is on strong selling movement on expectation of more aggressive move from US on the aggressive move from the US on increasing the interest rate and also the the further restriction from US to China chips. Okay, so technology wise at this point is the unfavorable sector that we want to go in, and it might continue to trade lower and extending into a new downwards trend. Okay, so if we look into some of those like Inari, we are seeing that it is breaking the previous low, and it is extending into a downward trend at this point. Okay, and although we know that there are EV talks, team, all this going on, but we might see um, the technology stock continue to trend lower before uh, there is any change in the trend at this time. Okay. Yep. All right. So that will be all for this week. Okay. I'm gonna take some of the question from the floor, which like from Thomas is asking about Sensoft. Thomas is asking if Sensoft able to break above 30 cents. If we look into Sensoft, okay, at this point we are seeing Sensoft is moving positively. Okay, it has moved above the moving average. Technically we might see Sensoft to trade in rectangle, okay, rectangle with a strong resistance at 32.5 cents. Okay, yeah. So for Sensoft wise, with the increased volume on the previous rebound from 25.5 cents, and we don't see much selling over here. It is a good the good it stands a good chance that it will break 30 cents and push towards the 32 cents level. Okay, so if you're asking if this software company, if we're able to push towards 35 cents or even 36.5 cents at this point, I would say that the chances is not that strong at this time. Okay, shouldn't see it unless it has really encouraging news, which I think it might not happen at this point. Otherwise it might just rebound and test 33, 32, 33 cents, and then that is the point where most people will go in and take some profits out. Okay, if we look at Southern Cable, okay, Southern Cable, one thing that I like about Southern Cable is we are seeing such an increase in the volume recently at 33 to 38 cents area. Okay, uh, with the volume accumulating right over here is telling us that they are strong buying at this area, and as long if it able to break out from the 38 cents area, we might see the accumulation has run and turning into a rally mode towards it shouldn't stop at 40 cents. If that really happened, it might test to 45.5 cents, 48 cents, or even towards 53 cents if we're able to see 38 cents level to be cleared. But one thing right over here is when the stock is in an accumulation mode, we do not know how long it's gonna sustain, how long it's gonna last. Okay, it might continue to stay in accumulation mode for weeks, months, or even years. Okay, bear in mind. So, Thomas, Stanley, for your Southern Cable, you might want to monitor really closely. Okay, if you want to accumulate a bit at 32 and a half, 33 cents, or even 34 cents, you may try. Okay, uh, in case when they're accumulating, they will make sure they will make sure it's going on in a ranging, and you can take some profits when it comes to 37 to 37 half cents area. Okay, for ranging trading, yes, you can do that. Okay, but do monitor if it's able to break above 38 cents, and it might take some time for it to trade higher to meet the strong resistance of 53 and half cents. Okay. And for Inchit no Imant, okay, SFP Tech. Okay, so Inchit no Imant is looking at recent IPO stock like SFP Tech and also Synergen. Okay, if we look into SFP Tech wise, we can see SFP Tech has a string of losses coming in, and if we switch this into a weekly chart, okay, a weekly chart, you can see they are um, strong red bearish candles covering the the rally from 148 cents to 180 cents. Okay, if we go even further, like monthly, okay, the buying has weakening, and if any rebound happening right over here, it shouldn't rebound more than 174 cents. This is telling us that it might hit the resistance at starts retracing. Okay, if we go back to a daily chart wise, yes, we are seeing a potential forming a piercing today, but at this point the rebound for the SFP tech, it might register at 163 cents level over here. Okay, 163 to 170 cents area. The rebound it shouldn't be too strong. If you see a big rebound to 153 cents and again reverse come back to the 140 cents area, then you might want to you really want to take note that it is resisted at the weak low, at a very weak at a weaker low and it might continue pressure lowers towards the support at 1 ringgit 15 cents or even 1 ringgit oh 07 1 ringgit levels. Okay, so at this point, SFP tech, it doesn't look good for me, and any rebound over here, if you want to trade, you should take it as a technical rebound rather as a strong buying continuation. Okay, and if we look at Synergens, we can see many of all these IPO stocks, they are presenting a very similar charting. Okay, it has been rallying. The selling has been coming for the past 2 weeks, and that should be an alert. Yes, it technically it can go into oversold after the recent selling, but this should serve as a very strong signal and also alert to us that the the upward rally, the buying interest in all these IPO stocks has temporarily halted. All right. Okay. So any chance that it rebound from here, if you want to trade, you can do it small, trading on the oversold rebounds. But if you holding position, uh, you might want to reduce your positions, position in stage when it rebound to the resistance, like for Synergens is 92 cents and also 1 ringgit oh 03 in batch. Okay, it rebound to 93 cents. You might want to let go a little bit, and rebound to 104. You might want to let go a little bit. Okay, and if it's able to rebound to the high 1 ringgit 12 cents, then you might consider want to scratch it or break even it, rather than hoping it's gonna be a strong reversal. Yeah, and yes, it might. Okay, if it really rebound to 1 ringgit 05 and breakouts, then you want to we really want to revisit the chart and see how the global sentiment is and how it gonna be. Okay, yep. But from experience wise, it shouldn't break out from the recent high lah. Okay, from the recent high for all these IPO stocks. Okay, okay, the last one will be GDB. Okay, for GDB holdings, what we are seeing is, although it is forming a lower low, okay, but what we are seeing is the selling has been softened down. So, okay, although we see the breakout of the for 15 cents to the low at 12.5 cents, we are seeing the recovery is fast, is very fast, rather than like what we are seeing right over here after the sell previously in August, after the breakdown of the 27.5 cents, the selling have continuous and pressuring with all this strong volume. But right over here, although we are see the breakout at 15 cents, the selling pressure wasn't that strong at this point. Okay, and it is rebounding on T3, so this could be a false break, and we might see GDP to trade back to 18.5 or 19 cents. Okay, for Stanley, if you're holding GDP. So you if you want to reduce your positions, if you are caught inside it, you can look into 17 cents to get out, or even 19 cents. But if you are thinking, if you want to buy at this point, I would say that it is going on downtrend. If you really want to trade and buy on weakness, you might just want to do it small. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna look into the last counter for today, which is FFB, which is Farm Fresh Berhad. Okay. So Farm Fresh Berhad is one of the counter that um, it's not easy to trade, okay, because we can see from fresh per heart as all these tails, upper tails, lower tails happening. Okay, so if I do not have a strong heart, I might be frightened away by all these long tails. Okay, although farm fresh per heart is a consumer stocks and it is consumer staples. Okay, but we are not seeing a strong movement or strong trend right over here after the IPO. We can see after the IPO listing day on 22nd March, it has been trading on really more into a sideway. And if we look into Fun Fresh Buhar right over now is uh it is a short term ranging mode at 1 ringgit 50 cents area to 1 ringgit 70 cents area. So for those who are in for Encik Noor Iman, if you are interested to trade into Farm Fresh, we know that it is a consumer stocks that um, has a more favorable direction at position at this time. We can collect it when it is trading at 150 cents area, or anytime when it rebound from 150 cents, buy on the weakness, and then when it come trade near to 168 cents to 170 cents, that is where we can take some short-term profits here. Okay, and if you have some position on Farm Fresh Berhad, if it rebound to 186 above 167 cents, you might want to take some of your profits. All right. Okay. So for Farm Fresh Berhad oils, it might continue to stay in ranging until it break above 476 cents or break below 150 cents. Otherwise, it might continue to stay in this area at this time. Okay, so to recap, what we have been mentioning is, so you really want to be, really want to stay defensive at this point until the election is over. Okay, and the interest and the money might flow into all these defensive sectors, like healthcare. That recently we are seeing the buying on the oversold on all these glove counters, um, hospital related counters like IHH, KPJ, all this we also can look into it. And other than that will be on consumer staples, consumer stocks still trend. Some of them they are still making good trend. Okay, and banking wise is more towards we have to be selective and also do some short term trading. Okay, uh, bear in mind that in early November we're gonna have NetFeds meeting, and also November we're gonna have another OPL rate high. So when it comes near to that timeline, we might see some move in the bank stocks as well. All right. Okay, so that will be all for this week our sharing sections, and thank you very much for joining our session. And I wish you guys have a good week ahead. Thank you. Bye bye.